is a true advocate of water conservation and environmental sustainability, an architect and social entrepreneur. She has spearheaded initiatives like saving 10,000 boats, Leave the Lakes, and the Blue Hyderabad. She has also restored several historical stepwells and lakes, ensuring a sustainable water future for generations to come. We are privileged to have Srimati Kalpana Ramesh garu with us today to speak us water conservation through the traditional irrigation systems and the latest mechanisms at Rashtrapati Nilayam. Ma'am, we invite you to share your valuable insights.
Thank you so much, and thank you Rajni Garu and the entire team at Rashtrapati Nilayam who only not speak but also have got into action to conserve a whole lot of water in this campus today. It's because they all believe in this, and this effort is so fruitful. And being the residence to the first citizen of India, which is our Honorable President right now, Draupadi Murmuji, it's an honor and privilege to have worked here towards water conservation. I understand kids in the sun walking a bit, we feel like drinking water, right? So I understand the rush over there. But how many of you understand that how much of water is in our body? I mean, let me ask you questions because once you start interacting, no, you will sink into what we are talking rather than being a monologue. I thought. So let me ask you some questions. So how much percentage of our body is water?
9%.
70% and above? Right answer. Now, 3 minutes of no air and you will not survive. 3 days of no water, you will not survive. Can I take all the bottles from you and say today, all day, you are here and you cannot drink water? Is that okay? No, right? So, what is happening today in today's world is we are constantly taking water from the ground and we forget to replenish our groundwater with rainwater. Like sir was saying, rainwater is the mother source of every kind of water. But if we don't preserve them, then there is no water for tomorrow. So if you don't take and do rainwater harvesting, you must have heard rainwater harvesting number of times. How many people have heard what is rainwater harvesting? Very few. That also tells how many people have rainwater harvesting at your own homes and schools, right? But I'm so glad for all the people that have raised hands. At least you understand what is harvesting the rain. Harvesting the rain is nothing but when you have a shower of rainfall, you do not, earlier when we didn't have buildings, it used to drain naturally into the ground. Today we have built so much, we have concreted nearly 80% of our city. So the way the rainfall happens, if you don't have a mechanism to hold this water is going to cause something called urban flooding. You must have seen it yesterday evening, right? Short 1 hour rainfall and almost every road is flooding. Why? Because this natural drainage of rainwater used to go into some ponds in low-lying areas or lakes or wells. Does anybody have an idea how many wells or how many lakes did Hyderabad have? We'll talk about our city because you live here. You need to know what is your city, right? Then we will understand what the world is going through. Can anybody tell me how many lakes did Hyderabad have? Just guess a number. 1,500 lakes, 1,500 lakes. Today we are left only with 182 lakes. So there itself you will understand, right, what we had and what we lost. How many Baulis and community wells? Today we have restored beautiful 3 wells in Rashtrapati Nilayam, which were already working wells. We just made it more efficient and enabled it to catch more rainwater. We created more volume. How many Baulis or community wells did Hyderabad have earlier from history? Any idea? 6,000 community wells. 6,000, you are very close. Thank you that you are thinking like this. Because when we had a population of only a few lakh people, we had 6,000 Baulis, right? 6,000 Baulis is a very big number, right? Now, how many wells are available in Hyderabad today? We barely have 88 heritage wells and community wells, maybe 100 of them. Somebody who believed in a well in private properties, they still have it, but most of them have filled it up. Do you know that these 6,000 Baulis were along the Musi River? Can anybody tell me? See, when Dalai Lama visited a few years ago to Hyderabad, he said, India can knowledge. Why were 6,000 Baulis built along the both sides of the Musi River? The simplest understanding, because I wanted to answer this question, I didn't have the answer to this question. So I went out talking to so many people and finally they found remains of clay rings and alongside a river called Kedadi in Madurai in Tamil Nadu very recently, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Then that gave the answer to my question that these wells along the rivers took down a whole lot of rainwater and preserved it in our aquifers, which are the underground water storage systems. And when it was summer and the river flow was slower, these underground water storage, water would drain into the rivers and keep the river at its full flow throughout the year. So that was our traditional wisdom. It's a very, very simple thing. Even if you go to Mohenjo-daro, if you go to study Indus civilization, water was always cyclic. How many of you know the water cycle? Huh? Guys, you don't say you don't know about water cycle. Everybody needs to raise your hands. Come on. This is like from grade 1 you're learning this. So today what we've done, there's all that precipitation, condensation, water coming back to the water bodies, going back to the cloud and coming back, right? So this water cycle, when it comes back to the ground, it's naturally supposed to go into our water bodies. But when you don't have water bodies, we've created a disaster. So in that water cycle, we've created a break. Now you see in summers, all of us, how many of you are buying tankers, guys? In your homes, in your schools? How many of you are buying? Maybe you don't know, you're not aware. Do you know that this year, compared to last year, February, 60% more people are buying tankers? What does it tell? But we have so much rainfall. What did we do with all that water? So the point is, in summers we are buying tankers and water scarcity. In monsoons, we are dealing with urban flooding. That means what? We are not managing our water well. We are not managing our water in our household. What if we caught that rainwater and used it to improve our groundwater? Throughout summer, you will have water to draw back, right? So, water management is very, very important. And do you know, in this campus, you will learn how water was managed, which is 3 wells, and this residency, what we call the British residency, there's a rich history to this. How this entire campus was managed with just 3 wells, no pumps, no motors. Isn't it interesting? We'll go there and we will understand that. How did it work? Just with bullocks. That's our traditional wisdom and how powerful They understood the gravity, they understood how water can be supported from different zones. And those days they didn't have technology to understand where to find water. They only saw the ground on top, understood what kind of trees, what kind of animals, what kind of birds, what kind of, if you have ant hills, that means you could find water. If you find a jamun tree, that means there's good water underground. So they understood the biodiversity and the nature of land and understood where they should find water. That is traditional wisdom. Today we don't have land or biodiversity or killed plants and trees, and so there is no, that wisdom is erasing. So I request all of you to first start focusing on what is traditional wisdom. Why did kings and kingdoms build so many wells or support so much of, when they did so much of irrigation, do you know Kakatiyans built few thousand tanks in Telangana? The reason was, it's a very hard terrain, it's a rocky terrain. We are in the middle of the Deccan Plateau. How many of you know what is Deccan Plateau? Not only raising answers, sometimes I might ask you to get up and tell me also. Right? So Deccan Plateau is a very hard terrain for us to store water. So they built a lot of tanks. So kings and kingdoms first understood that food security is very important. For food security, water is very important. They first focused on water, built large tanks, built a lot of wells. They made it water secure, and then they went into arts and craft and culture and sculpture came later. But they celebrated water. But today, we are only building, we are developing as a country in many ways, but we are losing water. Is Hyderabad a sustainable city? Can any of you tell, yes or no? If you say no, you have to get up and tell me why. What is a sustainable city? That the water or any resources we find in our city, we use it for ourselves. We consume the same thing and we don't take it from elsewhere. That's called sustainability. So water, are we sustainable for water as Hyderabad? Yes? No? We are not a sustainable city. So are many other cities. Why? Because today our main source of water comes from rivers. From river Godavari, from river Krishna. Earlier, during the Musi floods, because the Musi floods killed many people, the Nizam decided to, at the mouth of the Musi, where Musi enters the city, he created two large reservoirs so that water would slow down and store, and then this river flow will be constant and doesn't aggressively flow and kill people. So these two became our water resources. They stored this water, but what did they do? Then they said, we'll use it for drinking water for the entire city. That time the population of Hyderabad was only 4 lakh. What is the population of Hyderabad today?
2 crores.
Come on, these are all, how many of you read newspapers every day? It's very important, no?
1 crore.
How many, what's our population today? That will the 2.6 crore will happen in the next 25 years. Today we are at 1.5 crores. 1.5 crore population as a city within the city limits. Our city is constantly expanding. So when there were only few lakh people, this Himayat Sagar and the Gandipet, like the Usman Sagar, what you see, these were our water resources. Those were about 30 kilometers from the city. In 1970, we moved to the Manjira River and the Singur Dam in 1970. Why did we do that? Because these reservoirs were not enough for us. So we moved to the Manjira. Today also we call it Manjira water. Has anyone questioned why is it called Manjira water, guys? It comes from the river. It used to come. It is also one of our sources today. But unfortunately, that was not enough. 2004, we went to Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. We constructed the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. Then phase 1 was over. Phase 2 also was not sufficient. By 2014, we already moved to the Krishna and Godavari rivers. This is very important for you all to know Because a city has traveled for water for so many years. But why are we traveling for water? Do you know how much rainfall our city gets? Our city gets enough rainfall to support this entire 1.5 crore population for 365 days. When this is the story, why are we getting water from the rivers? Simply because we are concreting our cities and we are not conserving water, we are not helping save our wells, we rather fill up the well and sell it as land because land value has gone up. You don't see the value for water. So if this is the story today and you guys are in this age group, what will happen tomorrow in 30 years' time? Are we going to bring the entire river to our cities when our population doubles up? Today we are getting how many liters of water to the city is 558 mgd, that is million gallons of liters. And it's important for you guys to know, it's your future. You need to know how much water we get every day to the cities. 6 pumping stations. Why is it called lift irrigation? Because the river is much far below and your city is on a higher ground. So you need to lift this water and it has to come in gravity, travel 120 kilometers, 180 kilometers and 200 kilometers from 5 different sources and comes to the city for us to distribute. And what do we do with this water, guys? What do we do with Manjira water? Do we use it sensibly only to drink? Do we use only that much, or how much we drink? And are we even conscious this is river water where a farmer can grow food with this water? We use Manjira water in flushing. We just throw the water. We do anything with this Manjira water. The Manjira water means precious river water. So first of all, the consciousness of quantifying how much water do we get, what is our source, like Rajni madam was saying, XR also was saying, the source is very important to understand. Because who is going to fight for this source tomorrow? You guys. So you have to be really, really, really conscious. We did what we did as a generation, but now the population has grown. Even government has no choice. They have to get water from outside. But if you can save your rainwater, you will not waste this much of river water. You might not even need it in future. Many countries have grown conscious. Like Singapore is a conscious country. Do you know Singapore was buying water from Malaysia? Then came a political situation when Malaysia cut off Singapore's water. They cut off the water supply to this country. Then the whole government woke up and they said, we need to become sustainable. Today, Singapore is a shining example to the world for all of sustainable measures, simply because they went through this situation, and we will also go through some such situation in the near future. How much water can a river give? And water is not only for us, guys. What do we need water for? Not only for human beings, for all the birds, animals, trees, everything needs water, right? So it's very, very important to be conscious. When you take that glass of water next time to drink, take only half the glass if you need half the glass water. If you need 1 glass, you take only that much. Don't take 1 glass and drink quarter glass and throw the rest. You're not saving the planet by doing this. You can write a lot of theory in paper, sustainability, and you can project so many reports. But as a citizen, as an individual, if you don't follow certain things, you're going to create a disaster for tomorrow. So rainwater harvesting is very important. All your schools, any typology of building. So Rashtrapati Nilayam today is so significant that they recognize the importance of saving water consciously. They made a conscious effort, and how they saved water in those days is such a brilliant example even for today. So there's a museum we had the opportunity to put up with, to explain what we have lost and what they have gained today. And just by creating this example, the President of India, she is giving a message to all of you to start rethinking water, to start the whole idea of allowing all the public to come and enjoy her retreat is simply because to give awareness of so many kinds. This place is a treasure trove from many things, including water conservation. I'm super proud that as a team we were able to restore these 3 wells, and we've done multiple rainwater harvesting measures. So if few crores of liters are being saved here, each one of you take back this knowledge. You can do the same in your school, in your community. You don't think you're a kid and nobody is going to listen to
Visiting
you. Of
moment.
course not. You can make a research. Go to your apartment, find out where is your rainwater going. Is it being connected to the drain? Then you tell people not to the drain. Please make rainwater harvesting measures or use it in your own sump. Recycle the water. Right? Yeah. So it is very, very important for us to be conscious that we are getting river water today. And this is very, very important. How many of us see every day in the morning somebody putting a hose pipe and cleaning your car, and most often it's Manjira river water. You know, it just, my heart just bleeds looking at it. How can you be so not conscious? Today you get sprinklers, right? You get these power pressure things, right? You use lesser water and you can. Do you know in Falaknama bus stand, in Telangana bus depot, they use only 4 liters to wash the entire bus. Okay? They've also become conscious. We are restoring a well there. So there are a lot of measures government is doing, but the government can't come to every house and do something for water. So each one of us hold that responsibility. And as youngsters, understanding our traditional water systems, honoring our ancestors and what they put back on the piece of this planet is something for you to take forward to the world. They were very conscious. They believed water comes first before any kind of wealth. Water was the first wealth they safeguarded. You can go through any kingdoms, any kings, they gave importance to water. Today we've lost that language. I wish and hope all of us together bring back, and I'm happy and glad to take you through the restoration efforts here. 2022 March is a memorable day for our team when the projects, the conservation projects for water actually was inaugurated by Honorable President herself in this campus. That itself was a first step for us to understand the country wants to be conscious, and that was a very strong message she gave. And I hope today in Rashtrapati Nilayam you imbibe this message of traditional water system, understand how they managed this 75 or 90 acre land and how did they work with what was there, and today what is being done to further safeguard this effort. Thank you so much. And like Raji ma'am said, it is not about just some older person is talking, so we'll just listen. What is being taught is very, very, very important. You need to sort of focus on what is being talked about. This is not something, water is not somebody else's problem. It is your and my problem. And it is more yours because you're going to see tomorrow, maybe with lesser water. But you need to become entrepreneurs, you need to find ways to protect water right from your childhood. So you handhold, maybe you become young entrepreneurs protecting water conservation and come up with multiple ways to save water today. And India needs all such founders, all such young people who can protect and save water in whatever ways that you can. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Excuse me, madam.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring efforts and for showing us how we can revive traditional water systems along modern solutions. To recognize her contributions, we now felicitate Srimati Kalpana Ramesh Garu with the memento. I invite Manager of Rashtrapati Nilayam kindly to do the honors. We are also honored to have Mr. K. Anand Gowdaru as Assistant Professor at the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering and a PhD researcher at the NIT Warangal. His dedication to the civil engineering and sustainable water solution is truly commendable. As a jury for today's program, to recognize his contribution, we now felicitate Mr. K. Anand Garu with a flower pot and a memento. I invite Manager of Rashtrapati Nilayam to do kindly the honors. What a powerful and insight session. As we conclude this formal segment, let us continue our discussions and action towards the water secure future. And now we take a short refreshment break. Debate participants.
Yeah, for all the college students who had joined almost before concluding the program, once again we all invite you for this World Water Day program at Rashtrapati Nilayam. As we had thought that a kind of small awareness session will help you to know about the importance of water. And later now after a break, you all will be taken a tour. Though Rashtrapati Nilayam every bit is to be enjoyed, here the specific focus is on our traditional irrigation system. As such, we have three beautiful wells here at Rashtrapati Nilayam. So those three wells we were using through motors and all, but we were not aware of the significance of those wells. So all those wells were revived, restored, and right now we are even showing the demonstration of the traditional irrigation systems using our bulls and bullocks. So with bulls and buckets, you can see how the earlier generation, they used to draw the water from the dug wells. So that kind of demonstration you can see. And as Kalpana ji is the instrumental person for this revival of all these wells, we have a beautiful interpretation center also, where you can see how they were all revived and all. And even at Rashtrapati Nilayam, as you are seeing lots of greenery, when I joined here 5 years back, even we were used to have some water tankers to do the watering to the plants. But later stages, as we had gone through several water conservation mechanisms like storing, harvesting our rainwater through our rainwater pits, and latestly last year when we had done this water conservation mechanisms using this bioswales and all, right now we are not facing that kind of water crunch at Nilayam. So you all can see those beautiful injection wells and all, so you can get some insights about how to do the water conservation. Even now when I was like just chatting with Dr. Vishwanath ji, he was also telling about their experience in their campus, like how they had gone through that from the water scarcity days to water conservation days and how they are self-reliant. So as you all the future generation, we all have to pledge that we all should support water conservation, water protection in whatever means we can do. So that is what all this program is, what we are thinking, what we want to create some awareness about this Water World Day. And I wish also I want to inform that today on 22nd March we had completed our 2 years journey of opening Nilayam to public. So by this day, exactly I can't tell the figure, but we have crossed 4.5 lakhs of public visited Rashtrapati Nilayam. In 2023, when Honorable President of India had directed all the retreats to be open to public, as a first retreat which is in southern India in Hyderabad, first we had opened it on 22nd March 2023, which was the Ugadi day. So that day we had opened to public, and since that we had crossed 2 years of our journey, and we had welcomed more than 4.5 lakh public, and among them most of them are our school and college students. More than half of the percentage is with students, and as you all know that we are having lots of student and citizen engagement activities at Rashtrapati Nilayam, not only as a simply educational tour, even the students can have some interactions at Rashtrapati Nilayam. They can participate in the important days what we are celebrating here, and with your presence and with your participation, this Rashtrapati Nilayam is becoming so vibrant, and we are seeing the future of all the younger generation to use this particular place as a cultural and heritage center. So this is the vision of our Honorable President, that all the official residence of President should be used for the common public and for the youth. So I hope you all can visit this place regularly, bring your friends and families to show them what